Hi, Genki Call here with Gems of War for the week of September 18th, 2023. We are in Merlantis this week. Campaign tasks, you've probably completed them all by this time. I'm a little late with this week's videos, so I'm not even going to go over those. But we are in Merlantis this week. As far as the trials go, they're hard. They are hard, and so I completed up through level 275, and I'm going to use a minor orb to get my pet fully maxed out. I just did it in this order. You want to, these two are both tanks. You can move Azura in front of Charybdis, but you know, I think that because Charybdis can devour, and he does occasionally devour, that gets his attack up, so if you lose your and other stats as well, but yeah, if you lose this tank, you'll have a secondary tank to finish things off with that high attack. So I just did it in this order. Go for the Coral Golem first, then Kuotani. Coral Goner, I can't speak. Coral Golem, because he is a tank, he's got that skull damage reduction. He's immune to Devour, by the way. And Exploded Gem, submerge a random ally, blah blah blah, and gain life and armor. Pain in the rump, absolutely not going to do those last two levels. The last one I did took me over 30 minutes. And not going to do it. So I'm going to save myself 400 gems. I'm going to upgrade this guy, get my team bonus up by using an Orb of Minions. Whee! And then we'll get him maxed out and get that max bonus for Merlantis. Woohoo! Alright, got that part done. So next up, we've got the troops. Let's first head into the shop. I recommend getting your Spoils of War every week. Get your full quantity of 10. It's a fantastic deal for event keys. And every event key is a chance at a mythic, which we'll go over what you can get this week in just a moment. As far as the new troop, we have the Manta Raider. Along with your 400 glory, you will get these trait stones and these other goodies. We'll go ahead and go over this right now. Damage to 2 random enemies and shuffle the enemy team. I mean, the fact that he does damage to more than one enemy makes him a little bit more useful. He has a chance to dodge skull damage, he submerges when he takes damage, and no, he's an epic. He's there. But I recommend, once you can afford it, get these weekly event troops maxed out to their mythic level so that you can have a guaranteed level 20, the ability to make the troop level 20 when you need it for your power levels. As far as, yeah, and I'm actually going to get this up another power level right now, so yay! We're going to do that in a minute. Base rarity. Alright, show all. As far as what you can get with your event keys this week, we'll go over the most notables in here. We have 3 different mythics, my favorite of which is Pycea, but we're going to start with Aquaticus because she comes first in the alphabet. She does light splash damage. That's, yeah, light splash damage. It's actually right here. She does damage, full damage to the troop you target and the things that are touching it, if there are any troops touching that troop. She'll do light splash damage, which is only 1/4 of this damage to the adjacents. But she does this 3 times, and then she explodes half of the blue gems on the board. I've been kind of, disenchanted with Aquaticus simply because she only explodes half of the blue gems on the board. Azura explodes all of the blue gems on the board, and you get her for free just for doing the storyline here. Anyway, she does do it to 3 times, and she submerges all allies when matching 4+ gems. That can be very useful unless you're fighting Captain Scurvy, in which case, not Captain Scurvy, I always do that, Captain Macaw, who can insta-kill if you're submerged. Otherwise, very useful if you're fighting AoE. It's great. Pycea. I have a video I will put up with my favorite Pycea team. Destroy all green gems, taking those all off the board as if they are matched. create blue gems equal to the number of green gems destroyed, meaning you're taking those green gems off the board, you're replacing them with blue, you're going to flood the board with blue gems and, well, hopefully, and hopefully loop. There are also 2 independent 30% chances to devour a random enemy, but I use this guy as a mana generator and I'm just happy when he devours. If he happens to devour, it's a fantastic thing. Damage from skulls by 30%, so I put him up at the front of the team. Give attack to all blue allies when matching blue gems. I never pay attention to that. I love using this guy with Beatrix. He feeds her the green, she feeds him the blue. It's a beautiful synergy, and I love a team with synergy. Undine, I just crafted him not too long ago because he was one of the only mythics I was missing. Damage to an enemy and the next enemy below, whether they're touching or not. This isn't splash damage, so if there are only 2 enemies at the top and bottom, he's still going to hit them both. Boosted by Merfolk and Submerged allies, Submerge blue allies, Silence blue enemies. That can be really useful in Guild Wars on a defense team. If he casts and he silences all of them, unless they're immune to silence, he can be really good on defense. Haven't tried him out, but he would be good on blue defense day. Submerge myself at the start of every turn. Again, really good unless you're fighting Captain McCall. Charybdis, you're gonna get a handle on Charybdis when you do the trials, or the epic trials, whatever they call them. Damage to the first and last enemy with 10% chances to devour the enemies. With a little boost on there, he's just not consistent. Just not consistent with that devour, but at least he hits 2 enemies, I guess. He does gain 10 life when matching 4+ gems, which is nice. Leviathan, this guy dispels all enemies, so if there are any positive status effects on them, he removes them. Damage to all enemies, boosted by blue gems, and knock the first enemy to the last position. He's not bad. He's immune to stun and devour. He submerges himself on 4+ gem matches. He's not bad. I kind of like him and I never use him. Nimue. I want to call her Nimue. Anyway, Nimue transforms yellow gems to skulls, red gems to purple, silences the 2 strongest enemies. She's strong, and no one ever uses her. And you know why? I know why. I wonder if you know why. That's interesting. Put it in the comments down below. I'll put the answer down there after a while. Just see who's paying attention and whether you know why Nimue never gets used. Why people discount this troop. Anyway, steal 4 life from the first enemy when matching green gems as well. Hello, Luna. My kitty has come to visit. You will not be able to get the Deep King. None of the cards from the Sea of Sorrow are available because they're from Sea of Sorrow. You have to use your Chaos Shards down there to get them, but he's very, very useful, especially this week. Triton is pretty good. Heavy splash damage to an enemy. That's this right here. Boosted by blue gems, then give all merfolk 4 magic. So that extra magic boost, that means this number is going up every time he casts for your entire team if you're using all merfolk. But most importantly, all merfolk allies start with 50% mana. Which means if you're using Tidecaller class, you can use something besides Mana Source because you're going to get the 50% mana starter right here. Azura, as I mentioned, you will get Azura just for completing the storyline here in Merlantis. And also, not only does she explode all of the blue gems on the board, she also is going to dispel all enemies, remove any positive status effects they have, and eliminate points of a random skill boosted by blue gems. Now that point elimination, that could be magic, that could be any of these values. You don't know what she's going to do, but she's not just exploding gems or dispelling enemies. She's doing quite a bit, and I think she's underrated personally. Next up, let's see. Now, I rarely use these troops. You will not be able to get Triton Guard Mira from your event keys. You have to get her from Raid Boss. And we're going to head on over to Raid Boss in just a bit. You need this troop, but you cannot get her with your event keys or any keys right now. Let's see. Manta Raider, we already went over. Manta Shrimp, he uses true damage. That's what it was. And he starts battles with 50% mana. And double skull damage versus stunned enemies. And double skull damage versus submerged enemies as well. That's why I was thinking about him. Can't get Sea Witch. Dum 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 dum. Oh, would never use the Were Shark because lycanthropy. I hate lycanthropy. Meh, don't like it. Mm-mm. Coral Golem is a very good tank. We already went over that. Axolotl is really great if you need lots of blue and green gems. You will often, but not always, loop when you use this guy. And you also get bonus blue mana from blue gem matches, which is super nice. Can't get Hammer Claw. Lamprey is another one that devours, but only if they use blue mana. There's a 30% chance if they use blue mana. Chris Turtle, that everybody should have this shiny if you've been playing the game for, a month or two. I can't remember when the shiny things came out. Hasn't been that long. But Merlion, oh Merlion. This guy silences and does double damage if they are silenced. So, unfortunately, it's an enemy and a random enemy. So you get to choose one, and the other one is random. He is impervious as well. Already talked about cool. Oh no, I didn't actually talk about. He does splash damage, just regular straight up splash damage. So half this damage, so 25 damage to each adjacent troop. That's easy math. I can do that. Um, you know, that's about it for. Oh, I love getting my power levels up. Yay! Okay. Let's see. I can do that, and I'll do that later. Underspire, right. Underspire, the team that I am using for Underspire at this point. Iron Wave. This does damage to an enemy. This is craftable in the Soul Forge right now. Create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each merfolk ally. And the blue and brown both feed into the Deep King. Then I have Azra as a backup for extra mana. Don't necessarily need her. Could throw a third Deep King on here, but Deep King is fantastic. You get him at Sea of Sorrow with your Chaos Shards, as I mentioned. True splash damage to 2 random enemies. Yes, he is awesome. Love this troop. But this is what I'm using. I'll try to remember to put a link or this team code in my description box below. Now, this team can be used in Raid Boss for the early levels. The early levels only, folks. And let me show you why. As far as Raid Boss goes, you can use any team you want on the first 4 stages because you won't be fighting the Raid Boss. Once you're fighting the Raid Boss, you must use Triton Guard Mira. Also, get 3 graves here. Don't get it in the Soul Forge. If you're going to be participating in Raid Boss and buying these tiers anyway, don't waste your diamonds and accidentally get this in the Soul Forge. It explodes blue gems, grants a random status effect to all Merlantis allies, summons a Merlantis troop. Don't know what the upgrades are yet because I haven't looked. I just got it. And then Triton Guard Mira, whatever you want to call her. She does damage to an enemy. If they're the boss Dirk, she's going to do that 3 to 5 times damage based on her ascensions. That means at legendary would be 4x, mythic 5x, base rarity 3x. Same with the skulls if you trait her. But she also explodes 3 blue gems, so you get a little bit of mana gen out of it, which is always nice. Straight up going to explode the blue gems even if she's webbed, but you have to use her. Use her. And here's why. She has double magic, so she's going to hit twice as hard, in addition to the 3 to 5 times damage. But most importantly, she's going to get you double the score. So every bit of damage that you do to the raid boss, it's going to be doubled. As long as she's on your team, you don't even have to cast with her if you don't want to. But she must be on your team. And then I'm forgetting something important. What is it? Right, and here's why. not that, rewards, because if you haven't heard, there are, oh, this is 14. This is 14. Okay, so I guess there are 14 portals now. Not 16, but still, to finish up the 14 portals, I really highly recommend that you use what's her name again? Triton Guard Mira, so that you can get that double damage and finish this up more quickly for your guild. Alright, enough said about Raid Boss. Let's go back to the regular stuff, and we have this week Raid Boss. Oh, yes, campaign. This guy is now available, I believe, if you have the $24.99 pass. I do not. I am right now on the free pass. I haven't decided whether or not to purchase. I'm kind of leaning towards not getting this particular one. If it was purple deed books, I would absolutely do it. But you know, let me claim all these. The new Mythic, he just doesn't sound that great. I love Polly. I'll get Polly someday. But Dread Crapton, was that a Freudian slip? I made myself cough. This guy, he does damage to all enemies, that's nice. Boosted by booty gems and treasure maps, and creates 3 booty gems, gain 2 treasure maps. Treasure maps are kind of useless. If you've been playing the game more than a month, you know, the treasure maps don't really amount to much at this point in the game. Booty gems are great, but, you know, if you're or gold farming, you're not going to be taking him, most likely. Probably not. I don't know. You might, but I think at this point I am just going to craft him next time we go to Blackhawk, or next time he shows up in the Soul Forge, rather. So, you know, that'll be in like a couple months. He'll be available in Keys and in the Soul Forge, I guess. Ba-dum-bum. Sorry, I'm a little out of it still, guys. I'm really not feeling well still. Adventure board, we've got deeds. We've got deeds and gems. Be sure to grab those. As far as upcoming events for the week, we have tomorrow, today only, is the Faction Assault at Sea of Sorrow. If you want the Writhing Staff, get it in the shop, not in the Soul Forge. You can get it right here in the shop for purchasing Tier 4. It's a really nice weapon. It creates skulls, entangles the first enemy so they can't use the skulls against you. I like the weapon a lot. And then we've got tomorrow, Wednesday, we've got this new pet for Talk Like a Pirate Day. I don't remember what it's called. Because I didn't care enough to remember. Class trial is Tide Collar. I really, really love this particular. Sorry, I really like Tide Collar. Tide Collar is great. It's just that Elementalist is so much better. And then this weekend, we have a weekend faction assault, and it is very significant because at last, we have a place that is worth doing deep delves in, because City of Thieves is the best place in the underworld to do, sorry, my brain, farming. It's the best location to farm. So if you've already maxed out this place, you have a reason to do a level 500 delve here with the the thing I just said. I'm losing my mind. Sorry. The deep delve. The deep delve. So the reason why it's so significant is because there are 4 guaranteed treasure rooms in here. So you're going to get a lot of loot here. Plus whatever you get from the special room from the deep delve. So, I don't know. Weekend faction assault at City of Thieves. It should be interesting to see what people are thinking about that. Let me know what you think about that. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Check out the videos popping up on the screen now. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be, and my apologies if I forgot anything. Have a good one all. Bye!